Did you know there's a new mod which completely overhauls Minecraft's rendering system? It's brand new, but I think it's already time we shed some light on it. Okay, I know it probably feels like I say this about every video now, about rendering mods, but this time it's wildly different. This mod is called Radiance, and it completely bypasses OpenGL, allowing for full Vulkan hardware ray tracing. Now before I get into anything to do with this mod, I'd like to highlight that it was near impossible for me to get this to run without it crashing within the first few minutes. I think this was mainly a problem on my end though, as it seems like everyone else is running the mod perfectly fine. If anyone else was having issues and found a fix, please let me know, as it made making this video 10 times harder than it should have been. Moving on. Comparing Radiance to Photonics, which I actually did my last video on, I've noticed that while the FPS numbers aren't higher, the performance on Radiance is a lot more consistent, which actually makes sense considering it is hardware accelerated. Therefore, the prediction made by Bob from my last video was entirely correct. It looks like Photonics' software RT is so well written that it is in fact more performant than hardware RT. Yes, the main argument here is that software RT isn't technically real ray tracing, as you need dedicated hardware to ray trace in the first place. However, software ray tracing aims for similarity in terms of lighting and shadow mapping. But please do note with hardware ray tracing, it's going to be far more accurate and responsive. But this makes perfect sense considering it's directly using dedicated GPU cores made for this task specifically. Therefore, hardware RT is naturally going to be more expensive on the GPU than software RT. Radiance also supports NVIDIA's DLSS, which is huge. This is, I believe, the first mod to do this. This offers a pretty big performance boost with little to no loss in quality. The mod author has also stated AMD FSR is in the works, but many users agree DLSS is still currently ahead of FSR both in terms of quality and performance. But let me know what y'all think. Lastly, it just wouldn't be a go-to video without listing limitations and issues with the mod. First, I'd like to stress that even though the mod is still in its very early alpha stages, the amount of crashes I get with it make it hard to enjoy playing with. I'm sure the crash-related issues are very fixable problems, but I just wanted to throw that out as a heads up for anyone who wants to try it. One big limitation for a lot of players is that Radiance is purely hardware RT due to it being built on Vulkan, so older cards cannot run this mod. It does require a ray trace acceleration card. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to the members on my channel. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all for helping support the channel. There will definitely be member exclusive worlds and other perks I'll be sending out to y'all. I really appreciate the support. Now the biggest issue with this mod is it's not open source. This creates a lot of distrust with other modders and users, as I'm sure you're all aware of. The reason being is because it could potentially mean stolen code and lack of customization from those who want to expand on the code themselves. However, the developer has stated once it's out of alpha, he wants to make Radiance open source. This created a lot of speculation, but I really think this move is in place to protect the projects as it's still brand new, preventing anyone from stealing the early code and creating their own mod. This has happened far too many times, especially in the Minecraft modding community. All in all, I think Radiance is a great landmark for showing us the potential of hardware accelerated gameplay finally coming to Java Edition through mods. Obviously, once the community gets a hold of this when it does become open source, the possibilities will be endless.